What up, y'all? This is some important lighting that you gotta know about. A couple days ago, posted a video with the new laowa proteus anamorphic lens. Very simple, one light. It was an overcast day. It was very dark in this room before we arrived. We did a couple different techniques here. First and foremost was in this room. She's in a bedroom. I actually think that this is the best technique I've been doing over the past couple years, but we'll save this one for last. Second, she's out in the main room with the light behind her. We'll also take a look at this setup. The light was just moved a little bit, and it's just hitting her from the side. And we'll also take a look at some frontal lighting here and here. So the key here is all very simple. First one, overcast day. There's no lights on in the house. There's a light source right here, and this is just pointed directly at her, as well as you can just see it over on this wall to her left. This is the most basic example of upstage lighting. If you don't know what upstage lighting is, camera, talent, light. The light looks nice coming from behind the talent. Also, although the light is behind her, it's still bouncing around in the room, giving her a little bit of exposure on her side facing the camera, as well as just giving the room some exposure. You know, the whole room that you're in will bounce the light back at your talent. Here's another shot. Light is coming in from the side, still upstage lighting. This is just an aputure 300D with a spotlight mount. This is the only light that we used, and it's extremely versatile. Shooting through like a couple things on the desk, like this lampshade and this cabinet. Also here, we didn't have it directly hitting the wall. We used the cutters in the light so that we could control exactly where it was hitting. This light that you see on the wall right here is bouncing off of the plastic right here on the turntable, and we kind of just have the light shaped around her right here. Same setup here. When she's laying on the couch, you can see the light coming through her hair, and it's being broken up by a few things that we placed on the desk so that we can get this type of interest over here. We have hard light that's very controllable. It's not on the walls over here, it's just on the couch. It's as if it's coming through a window, but this was on a completely overcast day. It was raining outside when we shot this. Another thing about shaping this light, here in this shot when she's walking towards the camera from the other side of what we just saw following behind her, we've cut the light right here and just kept it on her. It's not hitting the wall right here, but as I mentioned before, we did have the light hitting the wall on this side, as you can kind of see on this chair right here. Looks like sun is coming through a window on the other side of the room. Another shot with more frontal lighting. We have these long shadows here. Again, looking like sun is coming through the window. Super simple setups here. Very quick moves with the light, one light source. We either had the light, you know, in front of the camera or behind, but either way, it was pointed at talent and shaped to exactly where we wanted it to be. And you can do that all so quickly with the spotlight mount on the 300D, which is just like becoming my favorite when I'm in these scenarios where it's just me and a couple people moving quick. Okay, we can also see here the light is in a similar position to where we started. It's hitting her back as if light was coming through the windows out here, and we can see it's also hitting the wall here. Again, this room was so dark. At this exposure, without our light, all you could see would be out the windows. This would just be completely black. This is a long, thin apartment in Brooklyn, and we were not getting much from outside. Another bonus, especially with something like a spotlight, is getting the flare in your lens. This was on an anamorphic lens, so we could see the horizontal flare, but whether you're on anamorphic or spherical, especially for fast-paced moving stuff where the shot is just only a couple seconds. So the whole vibe was like sunny day, she's in her apartment chilling, dancing around. Being able to create the sunlight with just one light, an aputure 300D at that, is pretty incredible. Now let's go back into the bedroom here. This technique is what I've really found to help me a lot. We're still using the aputure 300D, we're still using the spotlight mount, and it's still an overcast day. There's one small window in this bedroom. This time, we're still able to achieve upstage lighting, but with the light fixture itself right next to the camera. If I'm the camera right here, filming this way, the light source is right here. The key is that the light is shaped into a strip above frame on the wall. that light is bouncing to give some level to the back of her hair. You can see this edge on her foot and on her shoulder here. She's laying on a bed in a 8-foot wide room. The room was like just barely wider than the bed. It might have even been just like the width of the bed. You might have had to get on the bed from the foot of the bed. But with a small crew and minimal rigging equipment, there's no way in a timely manner am I able to get a light source up to key her from behind. Take the spotlight, shape it into the light that you want, and just point it at the wall right above the frame line here. It just creates such a nice and easy and quick way to retain your upstage lighting, get light falling on talent from behind while having a light that's basically a floating light wherever you want it to be. If you're working with a small crew, you can be, on the camera, looking at the monitor on the camera, and just reach over and point the spotlight where you need it to be. Got something that I thought was looking good, something that looked like maybe there was a skylight in here, maybe there was a window above her, or maybe it's not that noticeable at all. She was getting some light from her phone on her face. There was a little bit of light coming in through the single window over here, and the light that's coming in from behind her is just tying this together really nicely. I've used this technique in many shoots, and it's extremely valuable. All right, that's it. All this footage was graded with Dehancer. You should check the video on Dehancer on my channel. It's becoming my last step to getting a good image with any camera. And this footage right here, the only changes that I made were exposure changes. I set the settings in Dehancer. I put Dehancer on the timeline in Resolve, and clip by clip, just adjusted exposure slightly. That's the only corrections I made. So check out Dehancer. It's super amazing in my opinion, and like a huge time saver. Generally has like reduced my stress whenever I need to bring in anything to DaVinci Resolve. You also don't need to have it have a filmic look. This just looks nice. It's not like overly vintage or anything. But yeah, anyways, if you want to see this video fully and the Dehancer video, I'll leave the links to those in the description. And yeah, that's it. Peace. All right, one more thing, just going off of the spotlight and how versatile it is. It is 9:30 at night right now. This is a ceiling light that's on right here, and another ceiling light right here. This is what we were just looking at. Aputure 300D over here to my right, pointed at some curtains over here to my left, and just giving me some light coming from the side. Consistent lighting all day, super easy. It's just the light on a stand, no huge frame. It's just hitting some curtains. If there was a wall there, it would be hitting the wall. So